Or is it I'm looking at a Ford that has the 3.5 V6 in it? Are those any good? We're going to find out today, by the end of this video, the answer to that question. Let's get started. This is a 2013 Ford Flex. It's kind of like a station wagon crossover type. I don't know if you call it an SUV, but it's a big car basically. This one's in pretty good shape. It doesn't have any other serious issues, but it had a coolant leak. This is a very common thing with all the Ford 3.5 V6s. This one's not turbo, by the way. It's not EcoBoost or anything. It's just a standard 3.5 V6. The other concerns they had was a clunk in the front end and also an oil change. We're going to do the oil change and that's it. But before we dive into what we found, let's take a look around, look at the condition of this thing. Then we're going to show you what we found. Today we're working on the 4-post lift on this one because all the other lifts are full. We're really busy right now and tons of things going on in the shop. But as we look at the front, it has no serious issues. It actually kind of has a nice style to it. You can see they are KC Chiefs fans. As you can see, it has a little bit of hazing going on the lens of the headlight there. As you go down the side, you can see it's in actually really good shape. It has these little dimples, or I don't know what you call them, strakes or whatever, in the doors. It's kind of a very iconic thing for the Flex. It's kind of their design. And around the back, as you're seeing like I am, this thing's in pretty good shape. The other side is equally as nice. Let's let Mrs. Wizard show you guys around the interior.
So here's our gauge cluster. We have one. We also have two screens on the side, and I cannot turn it on because our battery is disconnected today. I'm sorry, but it looks nice, and actually so does the dash. It's in good shape. They've got lots of little fun things dangling from their mirror, but it's in really good shape. Something did get impaled there into the dash. Not sure what happened, but yikes. But very simple, easy to use controls here. Not a lot of buttons, not a lot of controls, just simple, easy to use. As we move down, you'll see we have the automatic gear selector and lots of change in the cup holder, along with some hand sanitizer and some cords coming out. So we look at the center console. I love this design here. I love how they give a channel for these cords to go through, and they just don't get pinched. Seats are in pretty good shape. They are cloth, and they do have a few minor marks on them, but nothing too crazy. But there's no holes or the foam's coming out, so they're in good shape. There's no bolster on the side because, well, this is a Flex. We're not drifting around corners in one of these. Door card is in really good shape. I love the faux wood between the top where the door pull is and where the handle is to close it. Very nice. It looks lovely. So here we are in the back seat. We have the commander sitting in the center section there, making sure that the driver is doing what they're supposed to be doing, because of course they are in control of what's going on. Yeah, but very good, nice baby seat in the center, and still enough room to get other kids or people next to them. So that's cool. Headliner's in really good shape. No marks to speak of. As we look at that steering wheel, classic Ford. We've got our lovely Ford logo here with simple controls on both sides. Easy to use. So, I've said easy to use quite a bit in here because that's what this is. Nothing overly complicated, just lots of, functional items. So, I really wonder what's going on. Let's get the hood open and see what we can find with what's going on with this 3.5.
Here's our 3.5 V6. We do have some things apart because I want to show you guys where to look for this coolant leak. There was a concern the customer was seeing coolant on the ground. Hopefully it was just a hose or a radiator or something, something that's not too big of a deal. But it actually looked like a freeze plug was leaking. And we found out, which I came over and kind of looked at it and I was like, that's not a freeze plug. Even though it's right where a freeze plug goes, it's actually called a weep hole, a tail weep hole. Let me show you guys. If you look down in this mirror, I'm wiggling it there. You'll see a silver hole with a black dot on top of it. It's actually a weep hole right next to a freeze plug. If it would just been a freeze plug, it wouldn't have been a big deal. We moved the alternator out of the way and replaced the freeze plug. Unfortunately, that little black hole that you saw right next to the freeze plug is there on purpose from the factory. It is to let you know when your water pump has gone bad. And if it gets too bad, it can actually start getting coolant into the oil. Here's a picture of what it takes to get the water pump off. The whole front of the engine, timing covers, main pulley, timing chains, guides, all has to come off. It's a massive undertaking. Compared to a water pump on any other car where it might be an hour or two job, this can be 10, 12, 14. It depends on what else you find wrong with this many miles on it. You don't know what else you're going to find. So the things I just mentioned, you'll have to take all off. I'll show you right now. This valve cover, this entire black plastic piece, that valve cover, the intake has to come off, the upper plenum, to get that valve cover off. And down in here is a motor mount. That has to be removed. And this timing cover I'm touching is a big V shape, the size of the whole front of the engine, and the main pulley way down there. All of that has to come off, and you have this much room to do the whole job. You also take off the front right wheel and the wheel liner and all that, and you can help get through and get some of the bolts and things. It is a big job. We revealed this information to the customer, and they were so disheartened. Let's go ahead and lift this thing up in the air and take a look underneath, and then we'll talk about what we found and where the customer is going to go from here. So here we are underneath, and you can see kind of an area. I'll show you where the coolant leak was coming from. It was leaking down the block and onto this oil pan and dripping in the middle. So as an owner of the vehicle, you think, okay, I have a coolant leak. It's in the middle of the vehicle. Maybe it's just a hose or something. It's really, until you get underneath the car and start looking, it's really hard to pinpoint exactly where it's coming from. Other than that, there's no other leaks or anything going on. If that were to be solved, it actually would be a happy little vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out these brakes. They're about half gone. We did notice with the clunking that these sway bar links here were really, really bad. We went ahead and put on some sway bar links, and that has taken care of it. But there's no CV boot torn or anything like that going on. This motor mount looks good, nothing torn there. CV boot there is good, brakes look good, and this sway bar link has been replaced as well. Right here is just floor pan, not much going on, some pipes and hoses, our center exhaust, nothing leaking, no serious issues here. Here's our saddle style fuel tank. It's two big tanks that are kind of joined up high in the middle. Sometimes they have two separate pumps on the vehicle, sometimes there's just a transfer, kind of a different setup, but there is definitely two separate things going on in this tank. Brakes are 3/4 gone, shocks are not blown. You can see that this is not an all-wheel drive. You can see where a CV shaft would go, right here. This is front-wheel drive only. But brakes, same story as the other side. Also, the shock looks fine. So we have a resonator chamber there, a single pipe all the way back, and then it does Y at the rear into two mufflers to give the illusion of dual exhaust, even though it only has single. Let's get this thing on the ground and talk about where we go from here. So unfortunately, the water pump repair on this job is a huge undertaking. And even as big of a problem as it is to do, no muffler Newton guys, there we go. Thanks. Anyways, even as big as a job as it is to doing this, there are some Ford vehicles that have this same engine that's even a larger job. It's an engine out job to do the water pump. Thousands of dollars, multiple thousands of dollars. We got a hold of the customer and told them what we found, and their heart sunk. And then their comment, this is a shocker, guys. We just got that done 4 years ago. It's leaking again? I don't know where it was done, if they used a cheap water pump. I don't know the story. But yes, it is leaking again from the weep hole, which means it needs to be done, or the job done, all over again. And when we told that to the customer, they said, hell no. I'm done. I'm done with this vehicle. And they kind of got really mad, not at us, but at the situation. And then they kind of asked Crazy D in the office, would it even be worth fixing? And he said, you already got $4,000 or more into the first job, getting this timing chain water pump business done, and you do it a second time, you spent as much or more than the whole car is worth. So being that said, absolutely not, it is not worth doing. You can go literally buy another Ford Flex for that kind of money. And Crazy D told him, you probably shouldn't buy another Ford Flex, unfortunately. So we're going to put everything back together on this. We're not going to go any further. We did throw in the sway bar links. I'm not even going to charge them for the sway bar links because I feel really, really bad about this situation. Unfortunately, the design of the way they made this engine, it really screws the pooch on this. I have never gotten to do a water pump on any of these engines, especially the Ford Edges. I think those are partially or all the way engine out to do it because the room is so tight between the body and the engine, you can't get the timing cover off. So, there's been a few times in the past I've been through this situation. I found out it was leaking through the weep hole. I gave them the price, and I always hear the same statement, "Oh, hell no, I'm not doing that." If that keeps happening, if this is the constant experience you can bet on by buying a Ford product with this engine, then what do you guys think? Should you buy one of these? Oh, hell no, you shouldn't. I've actually gotten emails. I'm looking at this really cool Ford. It's got the 3.5. I stop them short. Nope. Nope. One guy said, this one has low miles. It'll be blah, blah, blah. And it kind of brings up to me the definition of insanity. It's knowing that thousands of times in the past people have been screwed on a certain engine and thinking that your situation will be different. Oh, I think I'll buy one. It'll be fine. Will it? Thousands before you it wasn't fine. It's probably not going to be fine for you either. And you're going to get stuck just like this person did today with this unfortunate estimate.
Okay, Wizard. So let's say you see one of these on Marketplace. It's been marked down. It's really cheap. Maybe you can even see that it has a coolant leak, or maybe they mention it has the coolant leak. As a mechanic, is it a good buy?
It could be. You're going to need to go ahead and plan 3, 4, or 5 solid weekends of work because there's going to be quite a bit of tear down. There's always something else you find. Oh, while I'm here, this is leaking, or I didn't know about this or that. It's going to add to the time and also to the price, but it can. You have to kind of balance it. By the time I put the parts and the time into fixing this, is it possible for the same price I can just go buy a Ford Flex that doesn't have the leak? And if the answer is yes, then it's not worth it. It depends on how cheap you get the vehicle. If they're saying $1,500, get it out of my garage, yeah, you could probably do pretty well on that. The water pump itself is like $50, $60. It's not much. It's the whole job that makes it so expensive. And just like I've mentioned in the past, if I ever take off your timing chains, I will never put the old ones back on. Ever, ever, never. Because, you know, sure as the day is long, as soon as I do that, a timing chain guide will give way or something will happen, and the question will be raised, why didn't we address that when it was apart? Why did you put my old parts back on? We were that deep in it. So it's mandated in the shop. If we take your time chains off, you're getting new guides, new tensioner, new chain, new everything. That's what makes the job so expensive as well. The whole timing chain setup can be $1,000 getting all the parts together just by itself. There's tensioners up top, there's tensioners on the side, there's guides, there's so many different parts. And they're 50, 200, 150, it all adds up really, really fast. You really need to be a trained technician to do this job as well, because if you get the timing off a few teeth or you don't get it just right, you could literally grenade your engine where the valves will hit the pistons, it could bend the valves. Make sure you know what you're doing if you're going to take this on. But it is very, very unfortunate for this customer, especially when they just had this done 4 years ago and they're back in the same situation all over again. Now we did mention the back brakes have 25% remaining. With the condition and what's going on with the engine, it's not worth it. We did do the sway bar links before we found out the really bad news. I'm not even going to charge them for that. And if you're just going to sell it, possibly as a project vehicle to someone, they can take that on. It's not dangerous. It's not unsafe right now. It still has probably a year or 2 left on the brakes. So there's no reason to go any further. We're going to put this back together, do an oil change, and the customer will be getting the vehicle back still leaking coolant. If you're curious what kind of tools we're used to work on this vehicle or any other vehicle in the shop, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. If you purchase anything there, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. A lot of the tools we use in the shop are listed for sale there. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because there's many more cool videos to come. Thanks for watching.